Welcome to Emperor's Garden, the Japanese map for ground forces, and happy Thanksgiving. I wasn't planning to do a video today, but this match turned out so, well, interesting that I just had to put it up on YouTube, and you'll see why. We're using my familiar 6.7 RB lineup that I've really come to appreciate. All of the vehicles in this lineup are a lot of fun for me, barring many times the Tiger 2H. But here we are rolling out in the RU-251, a fantastic light tank. Our goal is to capture the point and then harvest as many points as we can, make as much impact in a short amount of time as possible, and then fly out in the narwhal. So we'll see how that goes. We are on the second half of our daily task for today, and that is to win 2 battles, getting between 1st and 4th place in the team. Shouldn't be too hard since we have some aircraft in the lineup, and judging from the fact this is going on YouTube, you probably know it's going to be at least a little bit epic. Now we're cutting through the forest with our machine guns, going straight for the A point. And one of the things I love about the RU-251 is its mobility. You can pretty much count on capping the point first, unless some very quick enemy tanks manage to catch up with you, and then it's not bad at defending itself. So here we get to the cap, driving up the steps. I guess I don't need to narrate everything that's happening. We're going to capture this point. So by this point in the match, I'm feeling pretty confident. As long as I can start off the round with a base capture, I know that at least I'll be able to fly out in the narwhal, and that's usually a pretty rewarding experience for me. So we'll see how this goes. Point captured, now it's time to get out of the area. Everybody's going to be targeting this zone, so they should be moving up shortly. I decide to get to a forward ambush position and wait for enemies to arrive, then see how I can support my team. I'm trying to teach myself to play a little bit less aggressively in these light tanks like the RU-251. They perform very well jumping out of cover to engage a already distracted enemy. The cannon can be quite effective when you have time to aim, but oh well, there we go. As I was saying, I gotta learn to be a little bit less aggressive. Got tired of waiting behind that house, poked out, and got what was coming to me. So now I'm taking out the narwhal. This is one of my favorite vehicles in the entire game of War Thunder. You'll never hear me stop talking about how great this thing is. It's just an absolute blast to fly, and you may have noticed that my custom skin is down for now. With the latest update, they changed the way that vehicle camouflages work. So all my custom camos are defunct for the time being, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, I hate to do all that work again to reassign them, but I also hate to play the game stock. I'm just that kind of guy. So I'm swooping in quickly, trying to harvest as many points, kills, assists as I can before a tempest inevitably zooms down out of the sky and blows me away. So I'm strafing ground targets here, and this is one of the most enjoyable aspects of playing this airplane, is coming from above, making that 50mm cannon do work, and you can see we're already scoring some critical hits. A little bit disappointing with the post-penetration effect on this round, but then again, it wasn't really designed to kill tanks, it was designed to kill heavy bombers, and that's a role that it excels in. So, I'm not really too put out by that fact. Once again, swooping down, and there's just nothing that these tanks can do to defend themselves against me. Really, only an anti-aircraft vehicle could stand a chance of engaging this jet, and in matches like this one, you generally don't see AA this early in the game. Usually what people do is take out an AA vehicle after they've lost their first one. So I'm not really expecting to have too much of a hard time. But, well, you know, every now and then you get surprised. And I get hit hard by that new Soviet AA. It's really a fantastic vehicle with the high velocity of the heavy machine gun rounds that it can put out. Got some good hits on my wing and disrupted my flight enough to just send me straight into the ground. So now I have enough points to take out another ground pounder. Well, it's meant to be an interceptor, but there's really not anything to intercept at this point. So I'm going ground attacking in the Heinkel 219, another fantastic airplane. And I'll have to make a custom skin for this someday. It would look pretty cool. But as it is, this is a very beautiful airplane. It handles like a streamlined brick, but with the amount of firepower that's available in the front of this thing, there's quite a lot you can do against ground targets or even air targets that manage to make the mistake of being in front of you. So once again, we're going for ground targets, trying to support the combat on the ground, and any moment now airplanes will be coming in. I'm trying to keep an eye out for where that Soviet AA was to see if I can tear him to pieces with the massive amount of firepower on this thing. But what I'm really aiming for now is tanks. Those are what are going to carry the match. So we get some hits into that T-44, take him out. That's going to make a huge difference. The Soviet T-44, if you're not familiar with that tank, is one of the most competitive vehicles at its battle rating. They get taken out quite a lot into matches at this level, and they generally perform very well with their mobility, reliable armor, and decent cannon. You often find them tearing apart the flanks of your team. And so far my team's doing fairly well, but already we're starting to lose players, and things are not going to work out so well for us in this match coming up. It's going to get quite difficult for my teammates and I to deal with the strong push that's coming from the enemy team. So shots are coming in. Already I've absorbed some presumably 20mm rounds. No doubt a Tempest or some other thing. This is the point in the match where people start bringing out their fighters just to clear the skies. Often, I suppose people like myself whose ground vehicle's been taken out want to harvest some quick respawn points. Again, that's what I'm doing here. Just getting hits can often get you enough points to take out a new vehicle, and since I got a kill, I really have no worries. It's pretty much assured that I'll be able to take out a tank after this. So at this point we're just trying to line up our next attack run with our crippled plane, in the off chance that our pursuer has decided to target someone else, and in fact, no, they haven't. So down we go, surprising no one, and not all that inspiring of a score. It looks like it was a Wyvern that took us down. Interesting, you know, generally you see Wyverns jumping right into ground attack, but this guy had the presence of mind to clear the skies. So now I take out the Tiger 2H, and I'm really not quite comfortable with this tank. It is a fantastic vehicle, just good mobility for a heavy, really reliable gun, even though I'm not as familiar with the German Long 88 right now as I could be. Solid frontal armor, but not quite thick enough to deal with many of the tanks that have been introduced into the game in the past year or so. Specifically the Heat FS equipped tanks like the M46 and most of the British tanks that you'll face in these matches. And we already know that we're up against things like the FV 4005, and Centurions. I think they're called Centurions. I definitely saw an STRV, and that has multiple weapons that can go through our front. We get a side shot on that T-34 heavy, and another one will finish him off nicely right before. And yeah, you saw that, right? That's not going to be the last time you just facepalm because of the team play. We're gonna see that was an allied bomber, dropped his bombs on that already doomed enemy heavy, happened to take out a friendly tank along with it. Way to go. Going around the corner, we spot an IS-2 and give him what every IS-2 driver deserves. A long 88 to the face. I hate that tank. It's so powerful. It always makes me happy to take one down. And here we go, continuing down the road, keeping our eyes open. And now I'm playing aggressively because I know that my team has really started to crumble. So if I'm going to be able to recover this match, I've got to fight hard. Again, our daily task is to win matches at the top of our team, so I'm doing my best. Take out that tank, and right after that, I suppose, what was it, an Arado? I wasn't paying attention. And drops his bombs on the enemy tank's corpse and wastes another bombing run, so he's managed to accomplish with his first bombing run, destroying a friendly and nothing. So, hooray! Back we go into the bamboo forest, and we're watching the pagoda at A because there's generally people camping there. We see a ZSU, take him down with a shot from the main gun as we come around this rock formation. Keeping our eyes peeled for there's movement. We got a shot at that AA truck. That's the one that took us down. Another AA, my goodness. Spraying with the machine gun. He gets taken out. That was German efficiency at its best. Why waste a armor-piercing round when you can mow him down with the MG? So, continuing to push the A point. It's getting critical at this point. Enemy bombs come in. Blows up most of the components of my tank, but the Tiger II's strong side armor holds up to that impressive blast. Pop smoke. Thanks to another small patch to the game, the Tiger II gets double the amount of smoke canisters that it started out with when it was introduced. At least when smoke was introduced. Another fantastic feature of the game that really adds some diversity, and another bomb comes in right in front of us. Rocks the tank, but we are otherwise unharmed. Pulling out of our smoke screen. Our tank is still operational. We've managed to survive quite a pounding from the enemy team. And now we're rolling up on the A point, and at this point I'm feeling pretty good. If we can just hold this cap for a couple minutes, the match is ours. And there's not a lot of team support, so I'm smoking up the area to try and limit the enemy's avenues of attack. And I'm not going to smoke up the entire cap point, and I just saw somebody pop behind that house, so my senses are up. I'm waiting for them to come around that corner. And solid teamwork, bud. You know, you just drive right in front of me, and there he pops out. He took the advantage. He just didn't manage to lay his gun on target fast enough, and we get taken out. So, close match. The A point has been decapped. Now would be a great time for me to roll out in a strong tank, but all I have is this Panther F, which is a solid vehicle. Unfortunately for me in this match, this tank is practically stock. I don't even have fire extinguishers, so survivability is going to be low in this vehicle. Even so, this has been a wild match, and we'll see if we can take this wild ride to victory, or do we crash into defeat? You will shortly see. If you look at the map, you'll notice that there's very few people left on my team, and I was able to make something of a difference with the Tiger 2. That was thrilling and surprising for me. Like I said, I generally don't do so well in that tank, just on account of the challenge that its armor layout. How do I put this? People are very familiar with the weak points of the Tiger 2H. So even though it does have a good armor scheme, it's just been in the game so long, and it's such a common feature in these battles that people generally know how to deal with you. And a lot of cannons can go through your armor from the front, easily from the side or rear, and it's such a large tank with a high profile that you often get noticed before you are aware of the location of the enemy. But not such a problem in the Panther. This is the Panther that comes with the Schmeltern turret that has a very small profile, giving this tank an ability to play aggressively, especially from a hidden position where most of the tank is concealed. But again, we're going to be playing aggressively because we're grasping at the last chance for survival in this match. I'm trying to support my teammates, but I'm kind of torn between flanking the A point and just rushing in, and at this point I know I need to hurry. So Allied air strikes have been a problem in the past, and there's not anything I can. Did you see that? Okay, seriously, did you see that? Enemy bombs bounced off of my tank, landed right next to me, explode, and did no real damage to the tank. That is some strong German engineering right there. And we come around the corner, IS-6, our snapshot goes into his cannon barrel, takes out his gun, and we're just not gonna have time to see how that one would have ended. I'm firmly convinced we would have beat him there. There's like a 30-second repair for him to repair that gun barrel, so we probably would have been able to take out one of the most powerful tanks in the game, but we'll have to do it another day. So good results, 7 kills, 4 assists, and more medals than you can shake a stick at, but victory eluded us this time. That does it for this match. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and especially share this with your friends if that's the kind of thing that you enjoy doing. Have a wonderful night, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.